I'm just gonna worry about Instagram right now. Welcome, everybody, back to another one. This is Sunday, uh, January 12th, 2025. Can you believe that we are in 2025? When I was younger, back in the day, but I'm not a kid anymore. So it is just so shocking to me. That's just an old school song that we used to have back in the day. And man, I am a middle-aged 55, almost 55-year-old woman in 2025, but I feel great. I am so happy to be amongst the living, and I hope that every single one of you are doing fantastic. And I pray that life is great. And so, welcome back to another podcast, The Real Conversation, Real Motivation, where I dive deep in real conversations about life and sharing powerful testimonies. I am your host, Michele Bradford, and every week I will bring you refreshing topics and provide practical motivation. I hope that this podcast offers you a dose of positivity to help you navigate life by being aware with awareness and real life challenges. So whether you are looking for healing for past trauma, finding resolutions to issues, or just simply are need a boost of encouragement, you are in the right place. So before we get started, I want to ask all of you to do me a big favor. It's free. I don't ask you to donate. I don't ask you to do anything. But if you could please go over to my YouTube channel for Real Conversation, Real Motivation, and subscribe. If you don't do YouTube, if you can go over to Facebook, it is Real Conversation, Real Motivation Podcast on Facebook, or Michele Bradford. Or you can go over to Instagram, which I'm not sure that I will continue to do live streams over there. They make me go through too many rigmaroles to get live over there. So maybe we'll add that later on as the podcast grows. But right now, we are doing Facebook, YouTube, and I really would like for you guys to subscribe and follow me on both if you can. I truly appreciate it. So, what are we talking about today? What are we getting into today? We um, did a podcast a few weeks ago about New Year's resolutions and all of that. And, last week we talked about natural products versus chemicals, that you buy from the grocery store, and the benefits of using natural chemicals. And so this week on episode 11, we are going to talk about the things that are going around in this country right now. All these different viruses that are going on. People are getting sick. Emergency rooms are full. And it's nerve wracking because there's so many things going on at one time. And there's actually the three that we're talking about, the four we're talking about today are just four, but there's one more that I don't even have on my list. And so there's also the norovirus that is not even on the list, but norovirus is also in there as well. So there's five viruses that are identified right now. There's probably other ones that are probably rare, but there are viruses everywhere and people getting sick, and kids are coughing out of up a storm, and everybody's trying to figure out, what do I need to do? So let me tell you, this is from personal experience. Everything that I'm sharing with you today is my regimen, what I do. I am not a doctor. I don't prescribe medication. So anything that I talk about, please talk to your doctor before you try it. Because just like with natural remedies, people have allergies. There's adverse effects versus with your health, your normal medication. So please consult your doctor about anything that I discuss with you today, because these are just my experiences. But I will tell you that I am a person with a lot of chronic illness. I have a compromised immune system, and so I am on a battle or a fight every single day to keep my immune system, in order. And so I can tell you that I mostly do natural remedies, and they have worked for me. I haven't had a common cold in a long time. I had COVID once and 2 years ago. I haven't had the flu in many, many years, knock on wood, knocking on wood. And so I'm just going to share with you what I do for a remedy. So before I start sharing my remedies and what I do, let's talk about the four different viruses that are going on right now. So we got the common cold. We all know about the common cold, the rhinovirus. And the rhinovirus, everybody, is contagious. It's less contagious, but they call it the common cold, but it seems like it's multiplied, it's divided, it's mutated or something, because it's a little bit different. I know some people that have gotten the common cold and they've passed away from the rhinovirus. I remember my friend Donna that one that passed away. She got the rhinovirus from her aunt, and her aunt was on hospice, and she came to our house to have a slumber party, and she really should have been at home, but she came over to our house and she gave us the rhinovirus, or the common cold. But it was not a common cold I've ever dealt with before. But luckily for me, it only lasted a couple of days, because I eat kind of healthy, and I juice, and I take a lot of natural things for the illnesses and stuff that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so it sucked, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like for Donna and her aunt, they were sick for weeks and months, and I don't think she ever got over that. And then they end up doing this surgery on her as she's dealing with the rhinovirus. She had pneumonia, and then not even a month or two after, they gave her the surgery and they botched it and she died. So let's talk about the rhinovirus first. So it's symptomatic per individual, and the virus you can shed the virus during the first 2 to 3 days of the infection. So when somebody is sick and infected, the first 2 or 3 days they are infected, and they can get everybody else sick. So the exposure can be 2 to 3 days during the first part of the virus. And so some of the symptoms are low grade fever, sneezing, sore throat, stuffy nose. We all know those things. And then we have the common in children. Most children experience 2 to 4 colds per year, frequently associated with asthma exacerbation. So I could tell you that when I have asthma issues, it can turn into a common cold. It's very true, and I'm not a kid, so I can tell you that's the truth. And so then we're going to talk about seasonal influenza. I will tell you, I take a flu shot every year. Every year. I know a lot of people say they don't take the flu shot, that it gives them the flu and all of that. But being a little bit achy from the flu shot, because I truly believe in a good balance of Western and Eastern medicine. And one of the things I've taken for the last 30 years is the flu shot. I'm not going to stop taking the flu shot because I don't want to get the flu. I have not had the flu. I don't want to get the flu. And so for me, it is detrimental that I take the flu shot every year so that I do not get sick, because the flu is rough and people are contagious. It starts shedding within the first 24 hours before symptoms appear, and it can peak around the third day. So you can be exposed to somebody with the flu and they don't even know they have the flu for the first 24 hours. And so you can be exposed from either 1 to 4 days with that. So your body, the symptoms that you have with that is body aches, chills, cough, fatigue, fever, headache, sore throat, stuffy nose. That's just some things. Um, and you know there are vaccines. There's multiple. They each year there's a actual virus A and a B, but each year it mutates, it changes, and so they try to figure out what is going to be exposed for that year. So not all flu shots do work, because, or if they do, hopefully they're a little bit more effective so it doesn't last as long. But it is a crap shoot when it comes to the flu vaccine. But I can tell you for myself that it's been highly worth it for me as a person who has massive chronic illness, and I've had it my whole life. So the third one is COVID. So 2020 was a mess, and therefore after we had all these different mutations, and they have all these boosters and all of that. And I can tell you that I took a booster a couple of years ago, or was it last year? I can't remember. Last year, I believe. No, actually, it wasn't last year. Was it last year? 25. It's 25, so I have to think about it. It was 2023 when I took I took a booster and a flu shot together, and that was the worst mistake of my life. I shouldn't have taken two different vaccines together, because I'm so sensitive to chemicals. That I will never do again. I have not taken another booster. I probably should, but I need to like wait it out like several months in between. So when I take the flu shot, I need to wait a few months and then take the booster. But I did not take the COVID vaccine this past year, 2024, but I did take up both of them in 2023, and that was a massive mistake. I will never do that again. So, so let's continue to talk about COVID. So it's more contagious than the other two. You can shed the virus anywhere between 2 to 3 days before symptoms appear. So you could be around somebody that doesn't seem sick. You can be in a close proximity of them within, 2 or 3 days of showing symptoms. And most people peak at the third day of the illness, but there can be virus shedding without ever developing symptoms. So if you're younger, you could have COVID and not have any symptoms, and then be around your parent or somebody with a compromised immune system, and they end up with COVID, right away. So usually when the shedding of the virus, or how contagious you are with the virus, is between 2 to 14 days. And as with the flu, you can have body aches, chills, cough, but you can have fatigue and fever and headache, but you also can have diarrhea. You can have loss of taste or smell. Yeah, vomiting, shortness of breath, and stuffy nose. So it's becoming more common to have this, and it's asymptomatic in children sometimes. And so typically children can have mild symptoms, and rarely do they develop multi-system inflammatory disorders. Um, they can develop multiple system inflammatory disorders weeks after having COVID. So, as we know, there are vaccines that you can give for children and adults. There's multiple that are approved for adults. And so, we dealt with this for the last 5 years, and it just keeps mutating and changing, and they keep creating these new vaccines and new boosters. And so, you have to do what's best for you. So the next one is RSV. So it's a respiratory virus, and it's very, very, very contagious. The symptoms can last 7 to 10 days, but some children can develop a cough that takes up to 6 weeks to clear up. I see so many kids coughing. I be trying to hold my breath. I don't have a mask on. I probably should. But, after COVID, we all have PTSD from masks. And so, we probably should have them on during the winter season, but we don't. So the symptoms is cough, runny nose, sneeze, fever, and wheezing. And infants are high risk to this disorder, and it can cause pneumonia, bronchitis of the lungs, and there are no vaccines for that. So it's crazy because, it's one of those things where uh, we try to do the best that we can as far as, what we got going on. And so, right now, a lot of people are showing up in the ER. I can speak for Florida that right now, the ER departments have a high, are very, very high with this, with the RSV right now. A lot of kids having RSV, and so it's kind of rough right now. And so I wanted to pull up and talk about the norovirus because that's not on my list to discuss, but it's very contagious as well, just like the rhinovirus, just like the RSV. It is just as contagious. It can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. It's kind of similar to the stomach flu, and it can spread easily through contact or contagious foods or surfaces. So literally somebody that's sick can touch a surface, just like with the flu, just like with COVID. And then you go right behind them and touch the surface. The illness can run its course in a few days. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that one because I do have on my list 4, but there's actually 5 that's going on right now. It's more of a gastritis. It's, like a stomach flu. Unlike, the flu, the actual flu is a respiratory more than anything. And so, it affects your intestines, your stomach, and so is really crazy because mostly you can catch it between November and April in many countries. And so, like I said, you can have headache, fever, body ache, stomach pains, diarrhea, vomiting, nausea. And it's crazy. It's so crazy to think about all the stuff that we got that's going on right now, especially in the wintertime. So one of the like side effects or symptoms of the norovirus, and many of them actually, is dehydration. Being dehydrated. So I suggest you to use there's a method I'm trying to remember: rice, banana, toast, and I can't think of the fourth one, but you can do the rice, banana, toast, the brat diet. I think that's what it's called. Banana, rice, applesauce, and toast. That's what it is, the brat diet. And so you can use that to help when you have, need something light to eat on your stomach, or you can do saltine crackers. But you need to drink plenty of fluids, electrolytes, get plenty of rest, eat soft, bland foods. Make sure you wash your hands. This is with everything. Make sure you're washing your fruits and vegetables because it can cause you to have issues. Think about the people who are at the grocery store touching all over the fruits, they're touching all over the boxes, they're touching all over everything, they putting it back, and it's crazy. So avoid coming in contact with people who have the norovirus because it's very contagious. Clean and sanitize every surface and every object. And if you have it, make sure you're washing your clothes thoroughly. Um, and just know, with the norovirus, you can get it more than once. They have several different types of norovirus. Your body can build up an immune system to protect you from the virus, but there's multiple different ones. It's just like with COVID. It can multiply. So the norovirus, the symptoms can be harsh and sudden. Boom, you just all of a sudden sick. You just like bam, out the block, sick. And so again, drinking lots of water is going to help you. It's going to really help you. And so, uh, I'm just going to tell you that it's frustrating, because you're trying to keep something down. You're trying to eat something. You're fatigued. You're exhausted, but you can't keep nothing down. You're in the toilet and it's coming out both ends. So try not to eat large meals all day. Eat small and sip frequently throughout the day so you don't get dehydrated. And if your symptoms last longer than 3 days, I would suggest you to go see your doctor, because that's a long time. So I would suggest you to put on a mask and go see your doctor. So, now that we've talked about the symptoms, we've talked about the onset, how contagious it can be. Let's talk about some natural cures. So I was just telling you guys that I take a lot of natural things for inflammation, because I have a lot of inflammation in my body. I am going through a lot. I have a lot of different chronic illnesses that I deal with day to day, and so I'm blessed in that regard that I have. Um, that I have, I take supplements every day. I make little concoctions here in my apartment, in my lab, in my kitchen. And so let's talk about a few um, things that you can do to help yourself, if you have the virus. And then we'll talk about what you can do to try to prevent. So the one thing they talk about is fever. When you have a fever, out above the normal temperature, is your immune system trying to fight off the infection. So the higher body temperature, it's believed it kills off the infection agent as well. So my thing is that you got to keep that temperature down, and so making sure you're resting, let it take its course, throughout the day. But when it comes to children that are younger than 4 months, if their temperature is 100.4, you need to take them to the doctor. But with any child at any age outside of that, if it's 104, you need to take them. I would take them at 101 or 2 to the doctor. Um, just because it's very, very, it's very nerve wracking to have your child sick and at that age. So one thing that will help you with the fever, if you take a lukewarm bath, it'll help you to, try to regulate your temperature, and so when the temperature of the water drops slowly, and it'll cool you off a little bit, it won't, it'll help your temperature drop, and not real fast. Um, I see some people use onion in their socks. I've never done that. I can't recommend these type of things because I don't know if they work. But one of the things that I heard that helps with having a fever is wearing wet socks. I've never heard of that. I don't know. I don't recommend that. And so, that's one of the things that they talk about in the article that I'm looking at, the WikiHow article, and that's one of the things they talk about. But I don't know if that works. But one thing I do know is that putting a cool rag on your head, around your neck, around your ankles, and your wrist, on your limbs. So taking 1 or 2 hand towels and folding them and then soaking them with cold water or with ice water. I would do the ice water. It really, really is helpful. If you put it in ice water and put it on your neck and on your head and around your wrist and your feet, because it's cooling off your limbs and it's cooling off your head. I think it's a really great thing to do. I've done that many times, and it works wonders. So I would suggest that, because it will cool you off and help your fever. Getting plenty of rest. These are all things that when you're sick, and it's common sense. But one of the things they tell off, starve a fever, feed a cold. I think that's what they say. So feed your body with light food. You know, um, it says feed a cold, starve a fever. So except you don't really want to go as far as starving a fever. You don't want to waste the body's energy with not eating something. But having chicken broth or chicken soup, which I don't eat either one of those, but some kind of broth or some kind of vegetable soup, that would be really great. One of the things that I really, really recommend, and I have a supplement that I take every day that has vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. And so vitamin C is really, really important. If you're not taking a supplement, I'm sitting here with my juice right now, and so it has vitamin C in it. And so, if you're not taking a supplement, make you some juice. If you don't have a juicer, you can do it in a blender and have a strainer. You have many ways to make juice. So I would suggest you to drink especially the winter, but in the summer too. Take the time out to make some good juice with vitamin C, berries, watermelon, oranges, cantaloupe, papaya, pineapple. I have apples. There's all kinds of stuff. So in my actual juice that I have today, I have papaya, I have ginger, I have um, I have turmeric, I have pineapple. I took the skin of the pineapple and I boiled it to get all of the nutrients out of the skin. I took my pectin from the apples that I juiced and I put them in the water as well to get all the nutrients and vitamins out of that, because throwing it away without getting all of the benefits out of it, it makes no sense. You're just wasting food. So I, instead of me making a vinegar or dehydrating it, I decided to boil it to get all of the nutrients out of it. I added some the lemon skin. Also, I added moringa and what else? Papaya, the rest of the papaya, and it had some pepper, like black pepper. And then after I got done, I mixed it all up and I added some honey. And this is a really great drink that I drink every day. I have several juices in there that I made. I made two different kinds this week. And usually I'll make one that I really like. So the one I liked is it's pineapple, green apples, jalapeno, mint, and cilantro. Love it. But this one here is more for to combat the inflammation and to keep my immune system built up. So the one for papaya, I don't like papaya at all, but I know that it's good for me. So I ate some papaya seeds. That's a really good thing for your tummy. Eat papaya seeds whole. Don't chew them, because if you chew them, you mess up the detoxification that goes into your tummy. So eat the papaya seeds. I have some in the kitchen. I'm going to put in the refrigerator, and then I'm drinking the papaya juice with all the other nutrients that I added. So the pineapple skins and the apple and the pineapple pectin, the fiber. I put all of that in boiled it, and then added it to my papaya and my lemons and my turmeric. And so this juice is really, really good. So vitamin C, very important. Another thing that you do, and I make my own yogurt. Eat yogurt. Yogurt is an has active cultures that helps with intestinal bacteria that can help to boost your functional immune system. So having yogurt, I make my own yogurt. I made some. My coworker gave me her recipe. I do it every couple of weeks. I have two things of it in the free refrigerator right now. I just ate one. I had a total of three, and you just make it with milk. And so you can either make that regular or you can make it Greek. And I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that can help you with building your immune system. Another thing you can do is make sure that um, you include protein in your meals. So if you need to eat something soft, eat some eggs or some chicken, something like that, or chicken broth. But having some kind of protein in your body, it help you to with your energy level. And then the brat diet, like I said, avoid heavy food, avoid fried food, and banana, rice, applesauce, and toast. This is one of the things that when the children are sick, those are the four things that we do is the brat diet. So make sure that you are doing that, because those foods are easily digestible, and some of them have vitamin C in it, and it's going to help them to keep some food down and not be weak. And then I was telling you about the vitamin C, also zinc, vitamin C. You can find zinc in some of those lozenges that you, Zicam, I think that's one. There's several lozenges out there, or you can just take straight zinc. You can find zinc in many foods like oysters, king crab, lobster, beef, chicken, yogurt, beans, nuts. So I don't eat meat at all. I'm allergic, but I do eat yogurt, beans, and nuts. I don't eat any seafood right now, so except for fish. And so I'm doing everything I can. I eat beans every week, yogurt every day, and I eat almonds and cashews as well. So we talked about the food. We talked to electrolytes. So making sure that you take in electrolytes. That's really, really good, because it's good for hydration. Because dehydration is the downfall. If you're constipated and you got dry skin, or you're dizzy or lightheaded, or you have sticky mouth, you know, um, the thing is, or thirsty, you probably are dehydrated, and you need to take water. You need to have your water. So the other thing is that, making sure that you're taking your vitamin C, that you are taking vitamin D. Those are things that you should be really like focusing on. So when we talk about vitamin D, vitamin D3, it increases your intake, increase your intake, because it's going to help stimulate your immune system. So it's important that you take vitamin D3 the first day you're sick. So the first day you're sick, so I buy it off of Amazon. I have 50,000 IUs of vitamin C that you take once a week. And I don't take it every single week. I do take it, but probably a couple of times a month. But if you're feeling sick, the first thing you do when you feel sick, or at least for me, I take my vitamin C, I take my zinc, and I take my magnesium and my vitamin D. It's three. And then I take a couple of drops of echinacea and golden seal together as soon as I feel sick. And so those are the things that I do. You can also take a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil, mix it with your orange juice or something to that effect, because it has really good lauric acid, and it can help kill, the virus in your body. It's an antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, without having effects. So antiviral. So coconut oil is very great for you. I do oil pulling, which I'm going to be doing some soon as I get off here, for my mouth. If there's any kind of bacteria in your mouth, coconut oil is one of the best things you can do. Antifungal, antiparasitic. It's really awesome. So I really, really think that the coconut oil is going to be very, very helpful for you. But if you're interested in knowing more about the different things that I do, I also have I have a concoction that I make, and I take a spoonful every day. It has ginger, it has turmeric, it has black pepper, it has garlic, and echinacea, and also honey. And it's all mixed together, and you ferment it, and you put it in the cabinet, and you take a spoonful every day. I take a spoonful probably 4 or 5 times a week. And I'm telling you, I haven't had a cold, knock on wood. I haven't been sick outside of my normal, issues that I have. I have allergies, so I try to combat all of that because of my allergies too, because I know once I get sick, I'm down for the count. Another thing that you can do is herbs. I make my own oil of oregano, which is a really great antiviral, has really great antiviral properties. Thyme has antiviral properties. Olive leaves have antiviral properties. Elderberry, licorice leaves, echinacea. I have my own powder echinacea, and I actually just made me a topical cream for my pain. So, and I use the echinacea in that, and then chamomile. It is antiviral as well. So making a herbal tea is really great as well. Some people will make a hot toddy. If I feel real stuffy or I feel like I'm coming down with something, I'll even make a hot toddy. I have all kinds of natural herbs in my kitchen that I've dehydrated myself. And so let me just tell you that, um, I have an arsenal, all kinds of stuff. Not probably as much as I would like. And eventually, when I move, I will be able to grow a lot of my own herbs, and I'll be able to do some tinctures and do all kinds of stuff with rosemary and thyme. And right now, I have fenugreek root hanging, I have cilantro hanging, and I have lemongrass hanging. And what that I'm doing is dehydrating them, drying them out. And then in my dehydrator, I have moringa leaves right now. And so I need to dehydrate some other stuff, but I can tell you that those are the things that I'm dehydrating at the moment. If you are having some issues with a stuffy nose, let me tell you something. One of the things that you need to be using on a day-to-day basis, if you have allergies and stuffy nose like me, is a neti pot. I don't like it, but I love it. I don't like it at all. It makes my nose burn. I don't like it, but it's one of those things that I can tell you that it really does work. Some people use sea salt, that comes with it. If you don't have that, you can use there's all kinds of stuff that you can use in your neti pot. I only use the sea salt, and then sometimes I'll do echinacea in there, and that's it. But it is really, really, really great for you if you have a stuffy nose. You really need to be proactive. Don't wait until you get sick when you have to go out and get stuff. Have the stuff available, because you know that starting in October, November, people start getting sick. Have the arsenal of things that you need. I know people get sick in the summer, but mostly from November to April, people are sick. Go out and buy the stuff now. Don't wait until the last minute when you're sick as a dog, or in the middle of the winter time, because you may not be able to find all the stuff that you need, or you may have to wait on your Amazon package or whatever, because you don't want to go out and get other people sick, right? We don't want to go outside and get people sick. But another thing that you can do, and I do this probably several times a week anyway, is you can run a diffuser. So if you have a diffuser, or buy one, they have them at Walmart, they have them online. And you can put essential oils of all kinds in the diffuser. It is really great. I love my diffuser. I put some lavender, I'll put some tea tree and some peppermint and some eucalyptus, and stuff like that. And it's really, really great to have it. I have it in my room, so if I need it, um, I'm telling you, be proactive. I have all these things here. Everything that I'm mentioning to you, I have currently in my apartment. So I use on a day-to-day basis anyway to keep my immune system, because I'm preparing. So we talked about proactive and reactive. Don't wait until you get sick and start trying to use these things. You have to be proactive. It needs to be a part of your daily life. You need to change your lifestyle and add this. I mean, if you can add all of those pills, you can add all of those cigarettes, you can add all your weed, you can add all these different things in your life. You remember, add some of the good stuff too. I never say take away the bad stuff. That's up to you. But add some good stuff into your spirit, into your life. Speak it into existence. I'm going to add good things into my life. I'm going to be proactive, because, I don't want to get sick. I don't want my family to get sick. If you start now, it will lessen the symptoms. You won't have it as long. Trust me when I tell you, I've had other things, and it might stick around 1 or 2 days, but I'm well within the next like 2, 3 days, if that long, because I'm taking, as soon as I feel a sore throat or itchiness or anything coming on, I'm immediately taking my echinacea and my golden seal, and then I'm going in the kitchen and taking a scoop of my concoction with my honey and my garlic and my ginger and my turmeric and my pepper, and all of that good stuff. I'm immediately taking that, and then I'm drinking a lot of water and I'm juicing every day. So I'm telling you, I am working to combat these things, because I don't want to get sick. Start now. Start now. Don't wait till you get sick. Don't wait till your kids get sick. Start giving them the good stuff now, and it will build their immune system up. So if they do get sick, it won't last as long, or they may not get sick at all. So we are close to the end here. So the last thing I will tell you is old fashioned steaming. Getting you a pot of water, putting some water on the stove, pouring that water in a bowl, put you some peppermint oil. You're creating a steam, for you to breathe. So pouring distilled water, that's the best, not out the sink. And then adding your essential oils to it. Be careful. And then take a towel and cover your head and steam your nose. And you'll be able to breathe a lot better, with that. And if it gets cold and you need to do it again, all you have to do is put it back in the pot, turn it on, put it in the bowl, cover your head, and boom. I'm telling you, it's really great. Really, really great. Some people may do it with, bay leaves or oregano. They might put the leaves of oregano and bay leaves and cover up as well. They may use that as well. So pretty much those are the things that I do, as far as home remedies. But please note, if none of those things are working for you, please go visit your doctor if the home remedies don't relieve you, because it could be anything. It could turn into other stuff. So please make sure that you go see your doctor if it doesn't, if it persists, because it could be something else. It could turn into something else. But we talk about the rhinovirus, the flu shot, the common cold, and COVID, and the different symptoms, the onset, when somebody is contagious, and also the natural remedies that we can use. And when I tell you that um, being proactive in this situation is so important, because if you're elderly and you don't eat very good, you don't drink enough water, and all you do is drink soda and eat a lot of junk food and don't put good stuff. I never ever talk about people getting rid of what they eating, because people go eat what they want to eat. If they eating it and you trying to tell them not to, they're gonna be like, don't tell me what to do. So I don't tell people what to do. But I will say to them, if you're going to eat all of that stuff, can you please add some good stuff? Make a good balance. So being proactive and adding some of these good things. Yes, you may not like it. Hold your nose and take it. Everything ain't got to be good tasting. Some of it is just good for you. I hate beets, but cover my nose and take a few beets. I won't tell you I don't eat them all the time, but I do make beet juice and I will hold my nose. I can't stand it. I don't like papaya. I can't stand papaya. Papaya tastes like garbage to me. But I'm drinking it right now because I know that it's good for me. I'm taking the seeds right now because I know it's good for me. So I tell you, everything it does not have to taste good for it to be good to you and for you. So be proactive and stop being reactive and waiting until you get so sick that you got to go out to the store, you got to order it, and you don't have it on hand. You should have essential oils on hand, especially peppermint, tea tree oil. Um, I have lemongrass. I have a whole bunch of different kind of oils in there right now. Um, uh, just all kinds of oils. And so making you a concoction like I do with household herbs, very good for you. Um, just having some mentholatum in the house. I have cough syrup here, for high blood pressure. I have that cough syrup, but I have not had to use it at all. I had it when I had the rhinovirus. I probably need to throw it away because it's expired. So I only took it last year, so it's probably expired. But I will tell you that water, electrolytes. Try not to use Gatorade and all that stuff because all the sweet. But if you can get you some electrolytes, and making sure that you have vitamin D3, 50,000 IU's if you're an adult. Um, Vitamin C. I do like 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I do have a magnesium that has the vitamin C and the zinc in it, and I have zinc as well. And so having those four things, and if you don't want to do the magnesium, D3s, zinc, and vitamin C. Do those every day. It's going to build your system up, and it's going to keep the onset down, and it's going to make you feel better already, and it's going to build your immune system. So I am so thankful and grateful again for you all for being here. I pray that something I said to you resonate with. And this is a real conversation. We're talking about things that affect us as people every day, and real motivation. How can we talk about these things and talk about things that are good for us, that are positive? What's coming out of this situation? We are educating ourselves. We're going to do better for our children. We're going to do better for ourselves. We're going to be proactive and get these products. And we're going to share them with some of our family and friends that don't have social media. And we're going to talk to our parents and talk to them about, being proactive versus reactive, and like try to get them to do some things besides taking medication every day. They don't forget to take that pill or that shot, but they won't take the natural stuff as well. So let's challenge our family to be proactive. And I want to thank you all again for being here at my podcast. And I hope to see you next week. And if you have any ideas, please put them down in the comments. Any video. If you would like to be on my podcast as a guest, please come on. Leave a comment on the video. And if you're interested in being a host on my podcast, I would love to have somebody that I can banter with. Please leave a comment in the comment section. But I hope that you have an amazing, wonderful, a brilliant, awesome Monday and the rest of your night. I hope you have peace, love, and care. God bless you. Take care. This is Michele Bradford with Real Conversation, Real Motivation, and I'm out of here. Peace out.